if you were talking to a band, which you kind of are, we have up and around 6,000 people around the world that listen to the show now. What would you say to them? What tips would you give to them? Because speaking as a booker of a big club in Chicago, what would you say to them?
Well, I am a very forthright, upfront person. I don't like to play games with bands. I like it when bands email me and they've got everything in the first email, who they are, where they're from, when they're looking to tour, their links. I do not like it when bands send me a MySpace link. For some reason, it always crashes my PC. Can't believe bands even still use it, to be honest.
Wow.
I like it when they get back to me in a timely manner. I do my best to get back to people in a timely manner, but I get over 1,000 emails from bands a week, so it's really difficult.
Wow.
But,
perspective.
The first email you send, make sure you have all your info in there.
Okay, what kind of things have you seen bands do to really kind of screw themselves over when it comes to just trying to get into the local scene? Like, what are some horrible mistakes you've seen people make?
Bands who try to sound smart and they're not. I think it's hilarious.
General, dude. Right there.
Their grammar is bad. I know that sounds horrible, but and then there have been a few bands that email me and they'll say, "Hey, we're an alternative rock band," and then I listen to the music and it's absolutely not alt rock. I would never in my life book them with that genre, so they're kind of pigeonholing themselves sometimes by doing that. And then also hyping things up, like just dropping names of big acts, like these little no-name bands dropping names of big acts that they say they can get to come play the show. 99% of the time that's never going to happen. It just kind of looks kind of dumb and sleazy.
Yeah, bullshit doesn't work, does it?
Not at all.
What would you say?
Only if I'm dating you. Not if I'm
So I would say under-promise and over-deliver. Like we were talking in class today about Twitter and, people like scamming to get followers. And I'm like, you know what? What's the point of scamming to get followers? Because if you use the number of Twitter followers to get you a show, that's great until the show actually happens, because none of your followers are actually real or following you or care. So no one's going to go to the show and you'll never play that venue again.
There's no real value.
Right. And it's important to try to be honest about that stuff. I booked plenty of bands that I know are not going to have a good fan base, but I like the band. So I'll do my best to throw them on a show where they're going to make new fans, and if they tell me, hey, we're going to bring minimum 100 people and 4 people show up, then I'm not going to want to really work with them again,
Right. And, I think that bands don't realize that, people like you, Joe, over at the Metro and all of these venues, you're not particularly scared by a band with not much of a draw. You're excited by a new band with some charisma and some chops and a work ethic. You can work on everything except lying bullshit and an attitude.
Absolutely. We've got 2 stages, and in the smaller stage, what I do typically is, I'll find a touring band that I really like. They'll have no fans, but I'll book them, and then I'll build a good local lineup around them, throw them on in the middle, or as direct support to a local headliner. And that way, they get a chance to play a kick-ass show in Chicago, hopefully make new fans. My goal is for the crowd to have fun and for, the band, for their fans to enjoy the whole set. I'm not going to book a show with one folk band and one metal band and one hippie band. I'm going to make a cool, cohesive lineup so that everybody enjoys it and stays for the night.
Wow. So have you ever had one of those touring bands that you've really carefully put a package together so they don't play to nobody, pardon my double negative, and then when the touring band has basically played to your loyal local band's following as a favor, then you get them in the dressing room or in your office demanding more of this or giving you the attitude because they filled your club?
Actually, no, not really.
Oh.
I don't get a lot of that.
Wow. Well, I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
Right.
Now I've said it, it's going to happen tomorrow.
No, I mean, I get some bands with attitude, but overall, I have to say a good majority of the time everybody's pretty cool and respectful. So I'm always so amazed when I deal with bands who aren't, because just most of the people I deal with are just pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky, or maybe I know how to weed them out. I have no idea.
Thanks.
That's great. And feels a little bit unusual to me. Maybe you're just reaping what you have sowed, if that makes any sense.
Well, I have plenty of trouble, don't get me wrong with that. You know, bands canceling, like I said, bands lying about draw, bands, what else? We recently had a band trash our green room. Like, literally, they broke the bathroom door in half. I'm like, how much crystal meth do you have to be on to do that? Oh, my God.
Wow.
I don't know. Let me bounce that question back to you, Ellie. How much crystal meth do you have to do to break a bathroom door in half?
You know what? I'm not sure. Maybe somebody from the South can tell us. I don't know. I
Exactly.
just say that.
Oh,
Well,
so then after that happens, so then what do you do? Are they pretty much blacklisted from everywhere in the area after that?
You know, they're blacklisted with us unless they are cool about it and they make reparations. You know, if they pay us for the stuff and stuff like that, then we'll give them another chance.
really?
Yeah. So it just really depends. There's one band that, I'm not going to say their name, but they're a punk band. They've been pretty popular in Chicago. I have them opening up for another big show in the fall, and they just the other day played for me and broke, I don't even know how many really nice microphones and a really nice chrome mic stand. After the show, the guy apologized to me like crazy, went upstairs, and he paid us for everything.
Well, that's okay then. I mean, the only time, fair enough if you went completely nuts. I bet was it a great show? I hope they smashed the mics on stage and not like in the back alley or in the dressing room.
Yeah. Yes, on stage. It was pretty funny.
The only time that would be like completely unacceptable is if they were opening for like a 25-piece orchestra and you needed every single microphone for a live broadcast of the orchestra directly after the punk band, in which case, that would be shit.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of bands realize expenses that a venue has to deal with. I think they think we have a magic money tree or something, but, we've got to pay for all this equipment. Those soundboards are not cheap. Gas bills, electric bills. If people think their electric bill is expensive in their 3-bedroom apartment, try having a gigantic 2-stage venue. It's just, I don't think bands understand the business aspect of it, They think that we can just bring any band in any night of the week, pay them $1,000, and have them entertain whoever's in the place. And it's just not that way. It's not realistic.
Right. Well, that's what we're trying to do is kind of educate bands who, there's a lot of smart people out there who just don't know what the reality is. I mean, when you said, hey, I get 1,000 emails a week, there might be somebody out there thinking, well, I sent Ellie an email. What the hell? It's been 5 days, and she didn't send me a Christmas card, and kind of getting upset, thinking that you're snubbing them when really you're just completely swamped. And a gentle prod reminder. There's a question. What's the line between a gentle prod or reminder like, hey, I emailed you about a show,
and being annoying?
Being annoying. Thank you.
Most bands will maybe send me a gentle prod maybe a week later, and I'll just explain and say, hey, listen, I get over 1,000 emails a week. Right now, you're asking me about something next fall. It's not so pressing. I'm going to get to you when I can. I recently had a band that just, oh, my God, they were so horrible. Martin, I think you saw my rant about it on Facebook. This guy was just so bad. God, what was he saying? He was just being, like, verbally abusive and telling me he wanted to talk to my manager and ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
I ended up banning him. I'll never work with him again. And then they emailed me trying to name drop, saying, "Oh, you should talk to our friends in Flatfoot 56 and they'll vouch for us." And I told Flatfoot 56, I was, listen, I don't want to hear a word about this guy. He's banned. Just don't even try to talk him up to me.
Well, I think what was most offensive was that after like a page of ranting and like falling back to like corporate values from the 80s, like I'm going to talk to your supervisor, which is so not rock and roll. They then tried to kind of switch half midstream into a like, everybody's tired. You misinterpreted the tone. It was like, no, there was no misinterpreting your bullshit, condescending, asshole professional.
He apologized and he goes, "I'm sorry that you don't understand that we're only trying to bring people to your club."
Yeah. That was it. Like, we're just sorry for trying to make you money. Yeah, it's like, no, you know, yeah.
Yeah, you can't even waste your time with those people.
Yeah. Well, I think
the one time they did play for us, they brought about 6 people, so I don't think it's a huge loss.
Dude, money making, man. Come on.